I'd rather reinstall Marvel Rivals and play that, which I would only play because I can stare on hot chicks' asses all the time, than this. How about this? They think they can charge $60 for this. Oh, must be a crypto game. So let's watch another Kira video. Oh my god, this looks horrible. The screenshot, I can only from the screenshot I can tell that this is horrible. This is Bethesda quality gameplay, game stuff. This is disgusting.
Okay, what up, friendos? Welcome back. This is the third video in a row I'm recording about some kind of MMORPG drama.
And we will watch them all. We will watch them all.
It might be the first one to be uploaded, so hello, hi. You've probably not seen me for months. It's good to be back. I am going to be back full-time making content.
Ship of Heroes? I can't imagine a game with a title like that to be anything else than a gacha game. Then it would make sense.
For YouTube now, on both channels. But I figured we'd start with all the MMO drama I've been missing out on. And this,
yes, please.
This is a wild one. Ship of Heroes. I have the creator of this blocked on my emails, apparently.
Oh.
For no reason other than he just kept emailing me to cover the game, and then I kept looking at the game and I was like, nah, I'm good. It doesn't look very good. And you know, if I want to cover something, I will. And if you just constantly email me about it, then I'm probably just not going to, because it's annoying. But at the same time, you know, I've been aware of
this looks like Unreal Engine slop.
Of this project for a long time. I was aware of it. I've been signed up to their newsletter for a long time. I think I unsigned up from it a couple of years ago, in maybe 2022 or something. They are releasing on Steam in 2 hours, and the reason I wanted to record this now is so that I could get my opinion forever immortalized on the internet before I'm proven right or wrong.
Nice. That's clever.
And that is to say, oh my god, look, it's fucking bargain bin Josh Strife Hayes. Look, they
yeah.
It's fucking Josh Strife Hayes from Temu. I just wanted to get my opinion out there so people can have it, whether they care or not, whatever, and see, you know, what happens. Ship of Heroes, what's the drama? Well, it's a game that looks like it was made in 2010.
Yes. Yes, it matches, yes. It matches really well.
It's releasing in late 2025, and it's going to cost, if you stand in, you know, you might be listening to me on your phone, you might be listening to me laying in bed, you know, sit up, get in your gamer position, brace for fucking impact. This game is going to cost 60 United States dollars, not...
Oh boy. For something like that. They want AAA prices. For maybe a C-grade game.
60 fucking Zimbabwean dollars, 60 United States dollars, Trump dollars.
Look how ugly that looks.
and
look how ugly this looks.
The fact I need to say "and" after that lets you know.
Oh god, oh no. This looks like a mess. Look at the screenshot, it's horrible. Ew. This looks horrendous. You wouldn't taking this floor tile for a room this size? That's bad. That's really bad. It makes you nauseous. This is horrible.
This is fucked. And it's going to have a fucking subscription.
Of course it was going to do that. Yes, of course.
Monthly subscription. Let me move this cup because I'm getting so animated. I might just knock it off my fucking desk. A $15 per month subscription. If you pay yearly, good luck to you, because I doubt this game will be fucking functional in a year's time at this pricing. You get it for $144. You get 20% off. You save 20%.
Wow. They are greedy. And hello, Jesse. You're watching while doing your clothes. Well, it's React content, so it's perfect for that.
And what a fucking bargain. What a deal. So you can spend $75. Do you get the first month for free? The pricing, download and active subscription will give access to everything in the game. There are no microtransactions, no cash up, no premium add-ons, no deluxe launch packages. I should fucking hope so.
Yeah.
It's $75 for a month of game time. The initial download is $60 plus an active subscription gives access to everything in the current game. And added in the 2 years after launch, 1 month access is included in the initial download fee. So never mind.
Nice.
Your first month isn't 75. Your first month is 60. So you do get the 1 month like you used to back in the golden days, back in the good old days when you'd go to fucking Game Station or Game or whatever, or if you're in America, Best Buy, and you get your.
I remember those times. Because I was there. I bought me my World of Warcraft and got 1 month free. I bought me my whatever MMO and got 1 month free. That was nice.
Little box for your World of Warcraft or your Star Wars, the Old Republic or whatever, and you'd run home and you get in your little gym jams, get your hot cocoa, load the game up, make your account. Your initial purchase would give you 1 month of in-game time. You'd probably still have to put a credit card in, but then obviously you get to play for that first month like the good old days. This is not the good old days. It's 2025. If you're you can't charge $60 for this game. You can't. And if you're going to, it needs to be free to play. Like, It is what it is. But the drama isn't. Let me just say, by the way, if you want to
There's even more? There's actual drama about something else? Oh my god, don't tell me they got backed on Kickstarter and people have to actually buy the game again. Is it that? Oh my god. Please.
charge $7 million for this game,
What?
that's your choice. You own the thing. Do whatever the fuck you want with it. I couldn't care less. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's absolutely fucking stupid. But
7 million for this. Wow. Imagine what you could have done with $7 million. Wow. Man.
you own it. You charge $100, charge $500, charge a $600 monthly subscription. I don't care. You look stupid, but it is what it is. It's your thing.
Oh my god, this is ugly. This reminds me of this self-created worlds on Second Life. It has the same visual quality. And that's not a good thing. Not a good thing. Like, really, not a good thing.
Do what you're going to do. But that's not the problem.
Same here. Looks like Second Life.
The problem is what the owner does and says afterwards, because it just makes the game look absolutely fucking stupid. Yes.
I mean, it already looks stupid. How can it get not even more stupid? I mean, what's going on?
Somebody posting, Integral is the developer. He posts and says, "You are, of course, entitled to your opinion. We have had a dozen alphas and betas along the development that has given people the advantage to see inside the game. We've had irrelevant, by the way. Who gives a fuck? It's you launch it on Steam. It's going to be seen by new eyeballs. What previous eyeballs have seen is irrelevant. If that was the case, if you don't care about the Steam eyeballs, don't launch on Steam. Like, what the fuck is the relevance of this? We've had more than 60 video updates showing the game and over 100 newsletters showing the game in detail. This is far too much for anyone to claim that we are an unknown. To people on Steam, you are. Like, are people going to log on and see the game launch and be like, oh, need to go and do my thesis on Ship of Heroes and go and look through all these things? No, you are a completely new entity to people on Steam. You're just popping up for the first time for them.
Yeah.
You might as well not exist until the moment that they see it. That's how this works.
Yes, exactly. And your first game is an MMO? I've never ever heard of a new studio and their first game is an MMO and it's successful. Never. For a good reason. An MMO is a giant thing. Like, it's giant. And getting that started, that takes ages. That takes so long. You would have been better off making smaller games to begin with. You know, make small single player games. Get your name out, make money, and then you can make an MMO if you want. If you have the experience to do so. But yeah, I absolutely don't believe that this will do anything.
If you personally need the assurance that studios made other games for you to buy from them, you are entitled to this opinion. I don't think this is like a thing you need, but at the same time, asking people that don't know who you are to just like, oh, $60.
Well, yeah, you don't need to know a company having more than the game that you're looking at. I have, when I bought Vampire Survivors, I didn't know any of the guys in other games at all, and I didn't care because the game looked good. I mean, I've watched Asmongold play it, and then I decided, yep, that looks good. I want to play it, so I bought it. I didn't need to know his other games. I haven't so far never looked at that guy's other games, ever, and I don't really care because I played Vampire Survivors. I had fun, and that's the tale. That's all. A studio don't need to have more than one game to, make a good game. It just can be, guys forming a studio, making a game, that's good. Hooray. Yeah, that happens all the time. I mean, indie games, with games that don't cost a lot to make and to purchase, I mean, sure, if some dudes come together and they make a game and it costs you, $70 and it has a battle pass, yeah, sure. I wouldn't trust that. But this is completely fine.
It's their choice if they want to spend that. I don't think this is like a super valid criticism, but it is what it is. Please understand that others may feel differently. Each price point and structure will garner a different base of players with different purchase behaviors. We hope we have selected well for our desired results. It's not going to go well. It is what it is. This is not going to earn almost any money. You misunderstand, unfortunately. Most indie games are not priced the same as AAA games. This is
which is very true.
True. Yeah. I mean, this is just a statement of fact. Showing videos, having an alpha or test doesn't do anything to guarantee the longevity of a game. I'll be watching it to see how it does, but the price point is way too high for me to buy day one with the very real possibility of being unsustainable at that price. It would be better if the game was priced lower, as you want as many players as possible for a new MMO to cover server and development costs. Better to have 20k people at $9.99 than 5k at $14.99, both in terms of sustainability and community. Yeah. This is true, but they are the developer. You can give your input, and if they don't want to hear it, they don't want to hear it. It is what it is. And then he just responds and says, we understand your financial constraints and respect them, which kind of sounds like, okay, then broke boy. The old post.
Yeah. It's an, yeah. if you don't have enough money to play our game, don't play our game. Well, yeah, most people won't.
A main meme. Sounds like a broke boy, or whatever the fuck she said. When people were talking about her massively overpriced white labeled cookies. And then this pops up, right? There was people posting on the subreddit saying the devs are banning and censoring legitimate criticism and just people talking about the price point of the game.
By the way, that's kind of a standard tactic for a lot of new studios that form and that have a Kickstarter and are kind of fishy. It happens there a lot, all the time, and that's a clear sign that something's wrong here.
And the developer responded, well, one of the developers, and said this. And we'll go over it in a second because we kind of have to contrast it to some of the reasons people are being banned. Now, as somebody who moderates my own Discord, or did before I stopped opening it for the last 2 months or so, while I was taking my YouTube break, I've literally not looked at Discord at all. It could be on fucking fire for all I know, or nobody's posting there and everything's okay. It will become active again when I start posting again, hopefully. It is what it is. But as somebody who is a content creator, moderates my own stuff generally, I might have a different opinion on moderation to you watching this video because, again, I do moderate my own thing and I am technically like a brand online and like a product, I guess. But I'm also a human being and nobody's paying money for my service, right? So my opinion on this for my own moderation and how I have always run my moderation is I don't give a fuck what your opinion is. If I don't like it, if I don't want to see it, it could be, oh, Kira, your hair looks nice today. Oh, Kira, I like your jacket. If I just don't want to see you speaking to me, I will remove you from my shit. Like,
Sure.
That's obviously a ridiculous
sense,
example.
right?
If you're complimenting me, I'm probably not going to ban you. But you know what I mean? For any reason, I don't care what it is, I will just remove people. And I don't feel like I need to justify this for any reason because you didn't pay to be a part of this. You didn't buy my product. I don't owe you customer service. You're there interacting with me, something I might read, something I might reply to. And if I feel like for whatever reason it's not worth my time or you're annoying or whatever, I'm just going to ban you. And I think if any...
By the way, same. There's literally nothing else to say about this. Same. I would do the same. I do the same. I mean, I haven't banned anyone yet. And I hope it stays that way. I don't have to do that. At least not soon.
Anyone has like a different opinion on that, that's okay. But this is like my area, so it's fucking largely irrelevant what you think. Where this differs is that they are a product. People are paying money for this, and they should be able to have an open discussion. If that open discussion doesn't involve like hate or bigotry or fucking some kind of ism or personal attacks or ad hominem or whatever, you shouldn't be banning people that are just having a cordial, normal conversation.
He, again, is correct. You shouldn't. You absolutely shouldn't. Because that poisons the well. And I mean it in a literal sense. You poison your community. You make them not trust you. And trust is important if you want money from people, you know?
I think that sets a really bad precedent. I think that makes you look really bad as a company. And that's what they've done here. So this person just posts, hey everyone, as someone who's been an avid superhero gamer for years, City of Heroes, Champions Online, DC Universe, Spider-Man, the Arkham games, I was really excited to finally see Ship of Heroes get closer to release. I have to be honest, I don't understand how this is launching at a $60 price tag. Between the graphics, the animations, art direction, or really lack thereof, and the overall presentation, this feels much closer to something that should be in early access for maybe $19.99. It's just not polished enough to stand alongside other $60 titles in today's market.
Well, very obviously it doesn't. Very, very obviously. I mean, the game is simply ugly. But let's say it like it is. It's ugly. It looks completely outdated. It's not in a way like, you make pixel art that's beautiful and just looks like, it comes from the 90s. That doesn't matter because it's still beautiful pixel art. That's an art style that you choose. This is 3D, kind of realistic stuff, and it just is ugly. It's ugly. That's all that there is to it. Uh, there's nothing to it. It has zero beauty. And I'm actually wondering on what engine the game runs. Because it's so ugly that it's not at least not a modern. I also don't think it even runs on Unreal Engine 3 because I've played Unreal Engine 3 games and they look way better. I've played Quake games running on Quake 3 engine that look way better than this. What what the what what is the engine? Oh my god, now I want to deep dive. Oh my god, don't tell me they made their own engine. I can't believe that they would do that. Oh god.
All true. Don't get me wrong, I respect that the devs are trying to build, and I'd love to see it succeed. Super MMOs are rare, and we all want something new to invest time in. But the game simply isn't in a state to justify charging full AAA pricing. Launching at $60 honestly risks scaring away a big part of the player base before it even has a chance to grow. I'd love to hear what other fans think. Am I being too harsh, or does anyone else feel like this is overpriced for what we're actually getting right now? There are assumptions in this, because if you've just shown up and you're like, oh, this game's releasing and I like superhero games, you don't know what's in the game to say whether it's worth $60 only visually. So there's an assumption there of what are we getting. But at the same time, I think everyone watching this video can consistently agree that an indie MMO in 2025 from a complete unknown studio, it's probably not going to be worth $60. And the pop.
Of course not. Of course not. I mean, the only reason World of Warcraft was worth $60 back then, was it even 60? I think it was 50. I think that was 50 back then. It hadn't. One reason why it was worth it was well, it was selling to Warcraft fans. I mean, Warcraft fans were already there. They hadn't established a universe and brand, and people wanted more of that. Like everyone loved, everyone that, not everyone, most people that played any Warcraft game liked the Warcraft games. Most people, which today is different. If you would put someone into World of Warcraft today and tell them, yeah, let's play the game, I can guarantee you they would hate it. I have played the game, and even as a not new player, I hate the leveling in the game. It's so horrible. It's so bad. You're, excuse me, you're better off leveling through dungeons than leveling out in the world. And back in the day, being out in the world was one of the most exciting things in World of Warcraft. Because of the small stories that were told. And the quests were interesting and memorable. Everything you do now in the outside world is just tedious things until you reach max level. And then you do dungeons, then you raid. That's all that there is. Leveling has become completely a side thing that you just do to get to the actual content. So the question is, why is it even there? Why is it even there? especially when you can, level through dungeons. Then you literally don't need the outside world. It's completely irrelevant, which is sad.
Population at launch for $60 with a fucking subscription is going to make the game less populated than it otherwise would be, and therefore less sustainable and less fun on launch, which we all know as MMO gamers is the most fun time of a game.
Yes.
People want to get in on launch, and if you're charging $60 for this, it's not good, right? It's not great. If the devs want to, I respect their decision to do so, but I think objectively this is bad. From everything I know about the industry and video games in general, I don't think this is a comment that should get you banned from the fucking subreddit.
Number one, yes, he's right. That shouldn't get you banned, like, at all. There was nothing bad about that comment. And number two, he's also right about starting an MMO, a new MMO. That time is exciting because you don't know anything about the game, about the world, and you're learning together with others. That's exciting. That's fun. And it was even fun starting classic WoW and classic the Burning Crusade. Even if not knowing the world already, it still was exciting. It really was. Like on launch day, joining onto the server, creating your character, spawning, surrounded by hundreds of people. Well, not hundreds, maybe 100 people. That was awesome. And then you can't really do your quest because all the mobs are dead. And the moment one mob spawns, 10 people attack it at the same time, and only one can get it. So stupid. It was so fun. It was also so fun, man. And then people start building groups so they can actually do the quests. Oh, so good. So good.
The community section on their Steam, and the guy then posts and says no constructive criticism has been deleted or banned. Is this constructive criticism? I don't know. Maybe, sure, but is it ban worthy? Absolutely not. Is there anything constructive here other than the game looks bad, it should be less money? I don't consider that necessarily constructive, but at the same time, like, is it ban worthy? No.
Yeah.
But then he goes on to say,
I agree. It's not ban worthy. You can delete the post, but then again, that looks bad too. So yeah, this is dumb.
To be constructive, you kind of need to not be 100% negative. I mean, he does say he's positively looking forward to like what the game could be, and that he likes this type of game. He's really excited to finally see Ship of Heroes here. So that's positive. Yeah. None of the critics ever come in and say, I love these 3 features of Ship of Heroes, but these other 2 are not what I like because of X, Y, and Z. Instead, they usually start out asserting some negative opinion as if it's a law of physics, and then moves on to more of the same. It didn't happen. We just read it. This didn't happen. Ship of Heroes has been created with enormous community involvement and support. The community asked for what it wanted, and we are delivering. Trolls are trolls, so this guy's a troll, right?
Sure, that's what they always say. Oh, that's a troll. Sure, buddy. Sure.
You can fall into this trap as a creator to be like overly negative towards, a lot of people don't, I guess, understand that if you catch me on a bad day, you might be the 50th person I've read say something stupid, and then I'm just going to fucking unload on you. And I'm going to be like, fuck you, fuck everything you stand for. But you're not like the first. You've not just shown up and been like, oh, hey, Kira, I think you could have done better here. Like, you might have a perfectly valid criticism, but I've sifted through like 100 people saying some fucking dumb shit before I got to you. So I can understand how this can happen. But at the same time, again, you've got to hold yourself to better standards when you're a product and you're trying to sell the product to people who are presumably going to use this forum after they paid money to support and talk about your game. It's a community forum about a product that's being charged at a premium price of $60. This is not, just some fucking random unmoderated section of some YouTube channel.
He's right with both things. I I I really can't explain how the minds of people work that think like that. And I mean the developer, of course. And I can't because I don't think so. It's astonishing to me that people are like that. Well, not really. I mean, I know that people are greedy and stuff like that, but yeah, I just can't. This is just, pure greed and hubris. When people think of themselves so highly that they can't take anything that's not praising them, then yeah, we have run into problems.
He then says they, as in the trolls, seem to have some sort of entitlement philosophy that sums up as: we are allowed to come into your house and shout at the top of our lungs that your spouse is ugly and your children are stupid. That's not constructive criticism. Nobody did this. This is not. This didn't happen. Like, this guy is delusional. And it is really a shame because obviously, like, back in the day, before we found out that City of Heroes private servers existed, and there was just people like running hidden secret City of Heroes servers, and then somebody outed it, and it's like, this has been happening for years, and they became public. Ship of Heroes, as well as there was another one called like Vanguard, not Vanguard. There was another one. There was like 3 superhero MMOs that originally tried to go to Kickstarter, funded elsewhere, was like, just sort of like in the background making moves. I was waiting to play something like this because I loved City of Heroes back in the day. It was one of my favorite MMOs, and it's a shame to see that this is what's become of it, and
What the fuck?
it doesn't look all that great. But I probably would have tried it if it wasn't a monthly subscription with a $60 price tag, because this could be as good. It's not going to be better than City of Heroes, is it?
You see that?
This could be as good.
This here. This the zooming in and oh, what the hell?
It's not going to be better than City of Heroes, is it?
We had cutscenes in the 90s that did that stuff better. How is this possible? How is this possible?
Let's be real. Because City of Heroes was made with a much larger, probably much more competent team, and ran for a much longer period of time with much more money. In City of Heroes, as far as I'm aware, still
Don't even the animations look shit. Even the animations look shit.
Costs fucking nothing to go and play at this point. Probably would have went and played this had it not been for the developer being a bit of a fuck knuckle, and also the game being what it is. But if this game comes out on Steam in the next like 2 hours or whenever it launches, and it breaks 2,000 concurrent players on Steam, which we'll be able to see with SteamDB, I'll be the most surprised motherfucker ever. Do they need 2,000 players? Do they need hundreds of thousands of cells or anything? Probably not. But at the same time, anything like this, MMOs are a really tricky beast, because you can even see this with much larger games. Once a game's population is unsustainable, as in it's not fun to play anymore, you need the number to constantly remain the same or go up.
Yeah.
If it's in a decline, it's just a snowball rolling downhill, and as it rolls downhill, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then it's fucked. The game just dies.
To be fair, the snow here looks kind of good. Reminds me of War Thunder.
Because there's not enough people to do stuff with. Queues are longer, or it's harder to find a group, or there's just not as many people around to socialize with, or whatever, in these multiplayer shared universes. And then, of course, that causes some people to quit, which compounds the problem and causes more people to quit, which ultra compounds the problem and causes even more people to quit. If you launch in a bad state, a lot of game developers treat this as if like they've got a golden fucking bullet in their gun chambered, ready to pull the free-to-play pistol and just shoot that golden bullet. But realistically, as we're seeing nowadays, it just doesn't always work out that way. There's just too many things competing for people's attention. And if you're going to launch like this, I don't know, bro. Best of luck to you, I guess. We'll see what happens. Inevitably, I think this is probably going to go down the shitter, but couldn't be surprised if it doesn't, and we'll see how it goes. But that's the Ship of Heroes pricing drama. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time. Stay safe. Peace.
Bye-bye. And we actually go... SteamDB. Verify you are a human. Ship of Heroes. Let's see. La 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 la. Where can we see? Oh. 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 This is bad. Oh my god. Let's see. Maximum. They had their all-time peak is 100. 100 people peak. Right now, 2. They have 2 people in the game. $60. $60. So they made $6,900. And making the game had cost $7 million. Congratulations. Congratulations. Concord level of success. Now this is bad. Like really bad. Oh god. 26.76% of the 71 user reviews are positive. Oh my god. Come on, let's... Oh my god, this is so bad. This is so bad. Oh my god. Oh god. Yeah, this is trash. This is trash. Oh my god. Oh, and she made a follow-up video. Probably the worst MMORPG launch ever. Oh my god, yeah, we are watching this too. Oh, this video is gonna be long. This video is so good. Oh my god.
What up, friendos? Welcome back. I posted a video about this new superhero MMO called Ship of Heroes and the drama of...
We just watched it, and we have looked at the at at SteamDB. Man, what a mess.
launching a game that looks like, well, I mean, it looks like what it looks like for the price of $60 upfront, with also a $15 per month subscription. And people asked me to play it, so I did. And
so he's one of the 100. One of the 100. Oh, poor guy. Poor guy. Oh, I feel for him. Oh my god. Now, to be fair, if I had the money and the viewership, I would have played it. Just for the memes. If I would have made a video about this, playing that game and getting 1 million views, I would have. But that would never happened. Never happened. I'm way too small for now.
since I had to suffer through that experience, Now you do too.
Welcome back. We are trying to acquire an ancient artifact.
Why does she sound like that? Is she a robot? No, Dr. Strikewell. Oh, that name. Why does she have a robot voice? Or sounds like that the voice comes out of a speaker. Why?
Called the Time Cube. I have no idea what it does exactly, but Ambassador has ordered me to retrieve it at any cost.
Why can you not stop lying? Please stop lying!
Some players will pay the price and the sub because they know we are not a cash grab. We are trying to create a game that is really fun to play. And is new. And that has the most positive community we can manage. Sure. That is what our community is buying. Really? I mean, 100 players? 100? It's just not about the number of missions. It kind of is. It's about finding or paying to have us create something that is better than current marketplace provides. Wow. Something better than a current marketplace provides? World of Warcraft is better than this. I'd rather reinstall Marvel Rivals and play that, which I will only play because I can stare on hot chicks' asses all the time, than this. And that's, by the way, literally why I played Marvel Rivals. Only the hot chicks. That's the only reason. I completely didn't care about the game. Only hot chicks.
What's wrong with you?
So let me just give you the cliff notes. The game is not good, and I don't mean like in a hooty tooty. I've just got my hands on the latest Ubisoft game, which is totally playable, decent even, but not worth my time to play or the box price, because there's just loads of better games out there for cheaper to play or that I already own. Or maybe there's a new indie gem to play and I just want to play that instead. Yeah. I mean, this game is just not good in a way that it's almost offensively so. I see zero reason for anybody to play this. I'm not trying to be mean when I say that, but this is how the world works.
Yeah, the UI doesn't even look good. Wait, what does this remind me of? I have seen a UI like this at least once, but I don't remember the Star Wars MMO. Star Wars MMO. No idea what it was called, but I remember Star Wars MMO. It had an almost identical AI. What game is this? Ship of Heroes. And no, we are not playing it. Hi, Kelly, and thank you, Kelly. And no, Hans, you won't bust open the door. Man, this is so bad. The game, by the way, just released for the ones who weren't there, and the max player count 100. 100 is the max player count, and concurrently there are 2 people in the game.
This game looks, feels, controls, and is just worse than the currently playable for free version of City of Heroes that literally...
Did you see the movement?
Worse than the currently playable for free version.
The character's just gliding over the ground.
Of City of Heroes that literally anybody wanting a superhero MMO can go and play instead. And I mean this in every single way possible. This game is worse. Character customization, which is about 60% of the enjoyment of these types of games. Movement, combat, visual, story, and most importantly, soul. This game has one of the worst designed sounds ever, like the system of sound from doing stuff, music. It's just really bad. Stock footage, elevator music. that's just constant.
Stock footage elevated music? Wait, don't tell me they took stock videos that have sounds and took the sounds out of that to put them in the game. I mean, to be fair, as a YouTuber and streamer, I would do that for alarms and stuff like that for my streams. Sure, why not? Works. No problem with that. But for a video game that you are selling, I mean, you can do that if it matches the style you are going for. Then it matches. Then it's fine. You can make a good game out of assets that you buy in the stores. You can do that. I know you can, because people have done that. You did that and you got copyrighted. First strike. Oh. Then you have to look more into. I mean, I got copyrighted on copyright. Had my VODs on Twitch partly muted because I played copyright-free music from YouTube. That's why I only play video game music now. It's really bad.
Playing in the background. AI for all the voices of all the NPCs, which I'm pretty sure you're supposed to disclose on the Steam store page as per their rules, and yet nothing at all mentioned about it. It's just, it looks soulless to play. When you have something that is supposed to copy almost.
So that's why the voice sounded so badly of the NPC.
Identically something else, but that other thing still exists and is more populated, it's free, it's better. There just isn't any reason to play this other thing at all. Add on $60 price tag, 50.
Wait. Did she just fly through the NPC?
To play this other thing at all. Add on $60 price tag.
And the NPCs aren't moving.
To play this other thing at all. Add on $60 price tag, 50.
Okay, they are moving, but only their hands.
$15 a month sub, and well, then you get Ship of Heroes. Add on to all this that the game doesn't even fucking work. And at the end of my brief, it was only 30 minutes of gameplay. I was just trying to repeatedly close the game, open the game, enter the mission. You have to go into these little private instances to do missions to progress your quests, and it would just give me an infinite black screen. And it wasn't just me. All 20 of the other $60 paying customers were discussing their inability to even play the game in the chat, which is global, I imagine. The infinite black screen had defeated the entire Ship of Heroes. Our combined might couldn't defeat the inaccessible game content.
You would think during testing the game they would encounter this and, not have it happen.
Blocked our progression. And maybe that was the point. Maybe the game was designed this way. The powerful foe that we were training up to fight had won, and it was the game itself. A fitting end for our journey. And one
I can see that. And by the way, look how ugly this all looks. This is so disgusting.
Probably be more satisfying than my other 29 minutes of gameplay, where despite me being level 2, I was fucking invincible. Nothing could kill me. Simply fly through level 4 enemies, do all my quest objectives in front of their eyes, and they couldn't do a single point of damage to me. I could
That's quite something, but then again, you are a superhero, right?
Even stand outside and tank 6 or 7 enemies, all higher level than me, and the game would get so bored with me being stood there for so long, taking no damage, that it would simply despawn the enemies. The game is so broken that that's actually a good thing I'm invincible, because anytime I hit a loading screen, which is most of the game anyway, you will be stood there for 10 plus seconds on a black screen while you can hear enemies hitting you, shooting you, doing whatever, and there's nothing you can do to respond. So if I wasn't invincible, the game would just be me dying to NPCs stood outside a building that I couldn't interact with.
This is so dumb. But also exactly what I would imagine that studio putting out. Yeah.
Which then brings me to the...
Oh my god, the sound design. That sounds so unappealing. The thing is not that it sounds bad. The thing is, it sounds unappealing for this. And also, I have heard that sound a lot. I think it's, at this point, a stock sound everyone can use for free.
Next glitch, you know, how many of those did you experience in 30 minutes of gameplay? A lot. Which was, I went in and did a mission where there was 6 enemies outside hitting me, came out, went to go and turn the mission in, and then magically when leaving that building, it just teleported me back in time to the previous building where the enemies were stood outside. Right into the waiting arms of half a dozen enemies I can't interact with, but luckily don't do any damage. Add in the other glitches, you know, NPCs vanishing, just running around.
Oh, the animations. Yeah.
And then 1 minute they're there, next minute they're not. Animation bugs, and the ultimate game ending one where you just can't progress the game because the game goes full black screen and doesn't do anything.
What? Did the people just disappear?
They're there, next minute they're not. Animation bugs, and the ultimate game ending one where you just can't.
They did just disappear. Wow.
Can't progress the game because the game goes full black screen and doesn't do anything. Not only are they charging $60 up front and $15 a month for an inferior product, but they're charging for one that doesn't fucking work. Which is when I ask myself,
after all, why not? Why shouldn't I keep it?
And realistically, in my history of doing reviews, which has been since like 2019, I can count on one hand the amount of times I've refunded a game that I was going to do a review on. And there's probably only one ever that's actually made it into a video, because most of the time if I'm going to review a game and it's just really bad, I just don't release the video. One game shares the refund with Ship of Heroes. The day before, it's in great company. The day before is the only other game I released a video on that I also refunded.
Oh,
and
I remember that game.
You know what's crazy about all this? If you sat me in front of like an alternate reality decision machine and said, play 10 hours of the day before on launch or play 30 more minutes of Ship of Heroes, I legitimately would play the day before for 10 hours rather than play this for 30 more minutes.
Yeah.
It's that bad. There is no redeeming qualities about this thing whatsoever. And
I could have told you that from the beginning. I mean, seeing the videos on the Steam store and the screenshots, yeah, 100%. I could have told you from the beginning.
I feel like doing any kind of like real review where you treat this as if it's like a real thing would be unfair to everyone involved, me, you, and the creators of the game. For me, because I'd need to hold myself to a standard of doing like at least 10 hours of gameplay for like a first impressions, which is what I've always done for first impression reviews. And you, because you then have to listen to me, go through and be like, here's a pro, here's a con, but there would be no pros, basically. As for the creators,
yeah,
well, actually fuck them, because they seem to think it's fine to just ban anyone that criticizes the $60 upfront price tag for a game that has reached a 100 player count in 24 hours and is currently at about 25 as I make this video. But with all that being said, this game has no future at all. In fact, it only exists because of a need in the market that also no longer exists. Ship of Heroes was created as a fan project to replace a beloved MMO from 2004 called City of Heroes, which closed down officially in 2012. 3 projects popped up at the same time trying to do the same thing. What you might not know is that 2012 to 2015 in the MMORPG niche, there was sort of a crowdfunding boom where a bunch of people raised a whole lot of money for the
don't actually remember that time. I think I was very busy. Oh, I actually was, yes. Oh yeah, the graphics in this game are horrible.
Promise of making MMOs great again. In this niche within a niche of superhero MMO games, 3 different projects popped up vowing to do the same thing, to bring back the glorious feeling of City of Heroes. They were called City of Titans, Valiance Online, I think, and then the culprit for today, Ship of Heroes. All 3 of these projects went through the same goal of trying to find money, find people to work on them, and also find an audience. And none of them did a particularly great job to my knowledge. But at that
I can
time,
see that.
remember, in the mid-2010s, there seemed to be a reason for these games to exist. Fast forward 2019, 6 years ago, and someone exposes that there's just been private servers running for City of Heroes for years, specifically one called Homecoming. This was a wonderful moment because if, like me, you loved City of Heroes, you could just go play the game, albeit unofficially, but running
Sure.
with impunity from the
Sure.
original IP owners. It's still around. They know about it. It's been around for a while. If you wanted a unique, cool, super classic superhero themed MMO, you can have it. Unfortunately for the 3 fan-made copycats I just listed, including Ship of Heroes, they now had no reason to exist. Imagine this. You stood in front of the drink fountain. You see that Coca-Cola's right there, you know, the premium. It's free. You can have unlimited refills. Just drink as much as you want. And then right next to it is store brand, you know, Walmart, Happy Shopper, whatever in your country, knockoff version, but it's $60 for a glass and $15 per refill. You've got
Jesus.
to ask yourself, who the fuck is paying for and drinking the knockoff worse version? When you copy something, you need the previous thing to either not exist or you need to do it better, or
Yeah.
at least differently enough that you can have your own audience.
That's what Blizzard used to do. They take something that someone else did and made it better. It's that simple.
If your copy is just it, but a shadow, just worse, who's going to play it? And then add on your more expensive as well. There's no place in the market for this. So to end an incredibly negative video, because what else could it be? I thought I'd look at what other people were saying. The ones who, like me, were brave enough to go to the store page and spend 60 freedom dollars to try this pile of shit. The reviews are, as you would have guessed, mostly negative. And then there's 37% of people that said, yeah, thumbs up, guys, positive reviews. But if you read them, most of them read like AI or somebody that's, you know,
Of course it's AI. They had 100 people max player count. Do you really think anyone likes this game? No one likes this game.
reading from a teleprompter with a Kalashnikov pointed to the back of their head. It's just a negative review, but then they give it a thumbs up and say, hopefully the game will be much better, but it isn't. It's like eating a plate of shit and saying, yeah, I'd recommend that. If they remove the shit, clean the plate, and put a nice steak on it, you're not reviewing the thing. You're not recommending the thing. You're recommending something that doesn't exist currently. So I don't know how these are even positive reviews in the first place. They're saying the price is bad, the game is bad, but hey, maybe in the future it won't be, which is about as useful as this game is fun. So for a little extra context, just everything about this game's weird. You know, go look at the system requirements and you'll find something freaky, and not the almost AI generated, you know, PlayStation 1 textured faces that are right next to it.
Let's look at it. It's right here. Wait, what? Minimum system requirements. 64-bit processor. Okay, operating system Windows 10 or 11. 60 gigabytes of memory. An NVIDIA GTX 1080 for that? Jesus. DirectX 11, 35 gigabytes of RAM, space, Jesus. Recommended 32 gigabytes of RAM. An RTX 3000 series? Or an Radeon RX 6600 or above? Jesus. Yeah, this is ridiculous for a game like that. This makes no sense. Unless it's super unoptimal. Oh. They, this might be a hidden cryptocurrency miner. And that's why they need those graphics cards.
But the system requirements of an 8th generation 4.7 gigahertz or higher processor, 32 gig of RAM, a 3000 series NVIDIA card, and 35 gig of drive space.
I didn't know they stacked shit that high.
For reference to how insane this is, look at what the game looks like. City of Heroes came out in 2004 and you could probably play it on your smart fridge at this stage. You've got to wonder what they're using all that power for because, again, the game doesn't even work. But I guess that's it, to be honest. There's probably not much more that needs to be said. But I will say, I'm going to pull one positive out of this one here because there's not much else that could be because the game is awful. But something good did come out of playing it. I did get my refund, but I was also reminded of a video series I started back in 2019 called Dead Worlds, where I just go and find online games. It didn't have to be an MMO, just an online game that was still officially playable that had a very low population. Whether it never had a high population and it was just obscure, whether it was bad, whether it had just fallen out of favor over time. And I think I'd like to have that series make a comeback because unlike Ship of Heroes...
My thoughts with that go directly to Age of Conan, which was my second favorite MMORPG. I played it for a couple of years. It was great. I even raided. Successfully even. It was so fun.
I'm sure there's some weird, wacky, or at the very least fun and interesting games out there that time's forgotten but still somehow exist. But I guess that's it for this one. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you are sitting there in your vintage Spider-Man Jim Jams clutching your original box of City of Heroes, I still have mine somewhere at my parents' house, so I'm right there with you. If that's you, just go and play City of Heroes Homecoming. No one is making MMOs anymore, not like they used to. If what you're looking for is a game from the 2000s, you're better off playing the games from the 2000s. Or better yet, go and make a homemade Superman outfit and run around in your garden. That's probably better than playing this because you'll get a bit of exercise and it won't cost you $60 plus $180 per year. I don't like tearing down indie developers, but I also hold them to a standard because I support indie games.
You should hold them to a standard.
Spent thousands of dollars backing games on Kickstarter. I promoted games on Kickstarter. I promoted games in early access. Whenever you do it right, I'll be right there with you. If your game's good, if there's a vision there, even if it's not currently as good as it needs to be, then I'm all for supporting that. But hobbies aren't charity, and this game not only has no reason to exist, it's also run by what seems like some really unpleasant people, judging from their handling of criticism over something as simple as the game's cost, which a lot of people were being really nice about and just saying it's not worth this, it's not going to sell a lot, it's not going to do well. And their response was, no, it is, you're wrong, get banned, and our community's fine with it. As we've seen, that community can't have been fine with it unless they have no community, because there's no fucker playing this game, and there won't be in the future. If you paid for a yearly subscription, I'm sorry to say, but this game won't be around in a year, and if it is...
I would be surprised if it's around in 3 months.
Definitely won't be with a box price and a subscription fee. Anyway, that's about it for this one. Thanks for watching. Hopefully my video gave you more enjoyment than my time playing the game. And hopefully the money does clear for the refund, because if not, I'll probably need a Ship of Heroes to assist me, because parting with that money for this game would be a robbery of epic proportions that would need heroes to see it right. See you on the next one. Peace.
Yeah, this my God. What a shit show. Jesus Christ. And I almost clicked on the forbidden Discord. the forbidden private Discord account.